Hi guys, I'm Dan Hoff, CEO of HoneyStick with
HoneyGirl.
and today we're going to go through an awesome little item that we launched called the Bumblebee, which is our bubbler that's going to be attached to sub-ohm devices. Now, why would HoneyStick launch a bubbler? Well, first of all, most of you guys have sent me pictures over the years of your own custom creations about how you said a bubbler has completely changed your sub-ohm experience and allowed you to go to the next level. It wasn't until our own employees started bringing in their homemade creations to where we said, you know what, guys, our viewers are onto something and we need to launch it. So we rushed to it, and this is what we got. The Bumblebee. Now, have you been experimenting with any of these things?
Actually, I do. I'm pretty obsessed with it, and it's gonna change the game for real.
And you actually had one of your little custom creations around the office here, and you what did you nickname it? I think you call it like the pistol or something.
Oh, I called it Bang Bang. Looks like a gun. Bang Bang.
Is that because it's
It's
lethal,
like
or is it because it blows you away, or what's the reason for calling it a pistol?
You know what? It's
The Bang Bang.
I don't know. It's just badass. It's like it just looks like a gun too, and the water doesn't tip with these, so it's cool. You play with it a little.
All right, so let's go into what this episode is going to really be about. Now, I'm going to introduce to you guys the Bumblebee bubbler that's meant to work with our sub-ohm and some of our other devices. I really want to touch on what the benefits of using a bubbler and a vaporizer are, and how it can really help take your sub-ohm vaping experience to the next level, and how it can help your vaping experience in general. A lot of people, they're not aware of the fact of what bubblers can do, or that, it's bringing kind of water pipe rig technology over to vaporizers and how convenient it can be. So let's talk about some of the advantages of using a bubbler when it comes to vaporizers. And I'll just bring over here my favorite little battery, my HoneyStick yellow speed battery with the Highbrid and a bubbler attachment. So how does a bubbler really work? What are the advantages? Well, basically, your vapor will travel through this pipe, and before reaching your inhale, it runs through water. So what the water does is it acts primarily as a filter. So it will filter your vapor and really allow you to just draw out the vapor. So vapor is going to pass through the water and filter it. The water is also going to cool the vapor off because it is a cooler temperature. Sometimes people put in colder water into their bubblers or rigs in order to have a special cooling effect of that sort. So the first benefit is going to be that it's going to cool your vapor. So when you're running the vaporizers at hot temperatures and it heats up really quickly, the temperature of that vapor could be hot. When it runs through the water, it's going to instantly be cooled. You're going to get a nice fresh vapor. You're going to eliminate the risk of really kind of getting that warm sensation or any burning.
Yeah, it's definitely. I've
in the
noticed
back of your
that.
throat. That is a huge one, and a lot of our employees in the office and a lot of our testers instantly said that you can run it at higher wattage and not experience that burning sensation. The second thing, when you're dealing with sub-ohm vaping, okay, you can have, when you go to high watts, a lot of people are scared to go into high watts because it heats up so, yeah, she was one of them, yep. We had her on the sub-ohm video. She didn't like the fizzle at 15-20 watts. So,
but this takes care of that fizzle. That eliminates that fizzle.
This does, because what happens is sometimes when you have the fizzle, people get scared, and rightfully so, that you can get a hot bubble or something called splatter, which is basically the coil is heating up so quickly that you get what I like to call a transition state into your mouth or your lips, which means that the liquid or solid has not converted fully to a vapor, and you get a steamy hot liquid draw into your mouth. The water will catch that, and when you're pulling, you're only pulling out the vapor. Any waters or any impurities or anything is going to get captured. So you're going to be able to run those high watts and not be worried about the fizzle or any kind of splatter or hot bubble when you have your bubbler. You know, so you can run it more intense. So we have that it's going to cool, we have that it's going to be more intense. You know, the other thing is going to be is that water is a filter, so it is just going to be, you know, a purifier. Vaporizers already do a pretty good job of purifying because you're only getting vapors. But in the event that there is something there, like, I don't know, HoneyGirl, if you've seen, you know, water pipes or rigs after being used.
I was just going to say this actually, because I do have one of my own, and this way is less messy. With a rig or a water bong, you have to clean it, it's messy, then it smells, and that smell doesn't go away. So this is very convenient for like just, you know, quick and without making a mess or spilling anything over.
But you see what happens to, let's say, like bong water or rig
dirty,
water after a while. It does get dirty.
And it does get harder, right?
It does get harder. So basically, you know, the water, the reason that the water changes those textures is because it's catching a lot of stuff that probably shouldn't be making it down your throat and into your lungs. And it also further helps purify the vaping experience. There's already a pretty pure vaping experience, but it's going to further purify that. So anybody who really wants to get the healthiest kind of experience, you know, I would recommend running it through water. Now, when you're filling it, which HoneyGirl is going to get to show you guys how to fill one of these things, you know, one thing is that if you're already going for the cleanliness of running it through water, make sure you don't use bad water or tap water. You know, you don't have to use Perrier's or glacial water, but, you know, make sure that you're using like a distilled water or a bottled water or at least a filtered water, so that, you know, if you're doing it to be clean, you're not inhaling a water that isn't super pure or isn't at least minimally clean. So you're gonna keep these vaporizers. They're gonna give you clean vapors. So the other thing is really allowing you to get the intensity and the power spectrum. So with these, you know, kind of the other tips that we talked about, hinted at them before. I mean, you guys around the office, a lot of our customers, they picked up the new Sub-Ohm Sport. They tell us they're comfortable running it around 12 watts, you know, 10, 12, 15 watts.
I'll do like 9.
So a lot of people will do like 9. And then, you know, with this thing, because of the first 3 benefits that we went through, the cooling, the filtration, and being able to eliminate, you know, catching any splatter, people are able to really crank up the wattage to 30 watts, still get great taste, right? But really draw in a lot more vapor.
Yeah, it's more. I feel like it's more effective.
It's more effective, but the taste doesn't
like
drop off.
3, yeah, no, definitely
Like,
not. It's like taking 3 at once without feeling the harsh, like the harshness in your throat and, you know, everything like that. That's how I feel.
Now, the one thing that I want to warn you as, you know, possible cautionary note when you're going up into the wattage, the one thing the water won't eliminate is, so let's say you turn it up to 50 watts or something like that. If you start burning up your coil, right, it's not going to eliminate the coil or the burnt taste. So you have to basically find the right, you know, the right ratio of, you know, intensity. That, you know, like we've had it at 30, 35 watts. The taste is still amazing, right? But then when you turn up to 50 watts, the coil's just getting so hot that it's kind of burning itself. I
think we did that. That's what happened when we first tested it. We actually did that. And
we tried to go full blast.
You could taste, we did, because I was so excited that I could do it without like getting scared, without feeling, I guess you would say, the transition of it vaping. So that I was like, all right, now I'm brave, so I'm going to go all the way. And yeah, I did burn it a little bit, but
I mean, it didn't hurt you. It didn't
hurt
do
at all.
anything,
Like,
but it just took a little bit away from the flavorful experience that sub-ohms would generally do. Now, another big advantage of a bubbler that you know, I don't know if it's common, but I've definitely observed, and from customers that we've asked for samples and feedback, is a bubbler, I think, is more effective because it forces you to really take a real draw, like a real long draw, because you are basically kind of sucking the vapor through the water. So you really have to inhale, and that inhale, that extra strength, some people, vaporizers are so powerful and efficient today. You push it, basically puts the vapor into your mouth, and you might not really inhale, you kind of just throat draw it or whatever, and you're not really getting the full inhale. The bubbler really kind of, I say, perfects your hit and really forces you to really draw on it and take it all in. So you are really getting the proper activation and feelings of whatever it is that you're vaping.
Yeah.
I mean, you experience that too. Like it kind of makes you take a better hit,
of
right?
Of course, and if you don't, you still see it left, and you got to finish it up. But 100%, like I said, I feel like it's way more effective like this than from a regular rig. You probably got to hit it a few times before you can actually get the effect if you just hit this once. Plain and simple.
So I think that's a good handful of pretty solid advantages of why a bubbler can be good for your vaping needs. Now let's play devil's advocate and talk about some of the negatives. About bubblers and vaping. Most bubblers that I've seen for vaporizers, which is why we made ours this size, are really long or really robust, and that means that they are impractical. They won't really stand on their own. It really converts a vaporizer to a fully immobile unit, and you can't really carry it. You gotta really base it. So it basically turns a vaporizer into a rig. With most of them, we really tried to make ours smaller, compact, so when it goes onto a vaporizer, not have a ton of water in it, so it becomes top heavy, so it'll stand on its own. But still, it's not something that you can just take for you down, throw it in your bag, or take down. I mean, let's face it. Aside from being, some of them being kind of large, another disadvantage is these things are made out of glass and they are fragile.
Put it down, unless
you gotta be delicate with it. I mean, besides the size and being delicate with it. I mean, even though this is made of high quality glass, I mean, I wouldn't take this thing mountain biking with me. And I wouldn't run down to the store to where I just grab it. I treat it with care, but it does give you a better
case too.
It does come with it. It does come with a case.
Bring it and show your friends or whatever. I think it's a cool like party thing,
exactly.
Or hang out, or you could just throw it on, whip out the case, and it goes from being like your personal vaporizer to now everybody's
I think the last disadvantage, and I'm really trying to dig hard to really find disadvantages. I think the other thing is, a lot of our vaporizers, we've definitely moved a little bit towards concealability as well, and there is nothing concealable or inconspicuous about these vaporizers. I mean, everybody knows what you're doing when you break one of these bad boys out, or any bigger bubblers. Once you have a bubbler on something, it basically takes away all forms of concealment or
100%.
Blending in. Yeah. I think that's a disadvantage. So I think these are more of units for the circles where they're readily accepted, parties or keeping at the house. But I think that the functional advantages really outweigh the disadvantages that we ran through, because when you get into this, you know what you're getting into.
And I feel like, I mean, if you really think about it, if you were to pack a rig or a water bong, I mean, after taking 1 or 2 hits, that's it. You got to clean it. You got to repack it again. In this case, you save, time doing it, which is not really a big deal, but also it's not something that you have to clean out and repack it and clean out and repack it after 2 hits. So I feel like that was also something I thought that was really neat, that I didn't have to do, because I hate cleaning them both. It smells so bad.
And this size is basically, we sized it and have it in a way to where it is pretty easy to clean. You just take them off. You can run water through it. You can get a high quality glass cleaner through it. You know, they sell a lot of the bong cleaners, the 420 cleaners and stuff like that. This is really small size and really pretty easy to maintain,
Yeah,
to
for
get
the
at.
one that I have at home, I just threw it in a Ziploc bag with some formula and just shake it up. Literally, like shake it up for 10
it's
seconds.
really that
rinse it
simple,
off, and
you
that's
know.
it. Yeah.
And it took all the smell out and everything, all the
100%.
residue, so everything was
Yeah.
good. So let's real quickly jump into how you're gonna get your Bumblebee bubbler for the vaporizer, and then HoneyGirl is gonna jump in and kind of show us how these things are actually used, and give you guys a little demo. When you order, it's gonna get shipped to you in our HoneyStick carrying case. It's a semi-hard shell. Comes with a little hiking clip. It's a zipper case. Definitely a cool case, especially if you like HoneyStick swag. You can use it for a lot of things. You just open it up. We're gonna have some bubble wrap in it because they're not shipped with vaporizers to keep the glass and everything in place. The glass is gonna come in a special protective foam that it snugly fits into here. And you're just gonna pop it out, okay? And we have it so that this size will fit over a variety of our mouthpieces and get really close and can be used with a lot of our devices. Now, we only recommend that these be used with push button vaporizers. For auto draw vaporizers, I think actually using your airflow to power the vape and suck the vapor through the water, I think it's a little too much. It's not going to really give you a great vape experience. These things are really meant so that you can push your vaporizer's power spectrum to the limits and still get an awesome flavorful experience to let you explore better intensity levels in your vaping. So it's going to come with this, and it's also going to come with a little plastic silicone medical grade thing that's sealed in a little rubber here. So what this is it goes from, if you look at it, it goes from skinny to thick. And basically it's because you have different size vaporizers and different size mouthpieces. So what you can do is you can cut this thing in half and slide it over the mouthpiece like I did here with our Highbrid, right? And actually it creates a really awesome airtight seal. And you can, cut pieces off for with like beekeepers and mini maxes and things like that. You can use the skinnier half of the thing. So this is a cool little silicone piece that you can have. Yeah. You can kind of nip little pieces off of there. Really easy to cut with scissors or a razor or a sharp knife. And you can get it on there to really create a seal. We just cut a quarter of it off and it really seals awesome with our sub-ohm sport tank. So we have, with all of our vaporizers, this is all we've used and we've been able to cut and kind of craft. Super easy to do. Creates an awesome seal. The reason that we left extra space in here filled with the bubble wrap is so when you get it, there's enough space for most of your vape batteries in there. You can fit your vape battery in there and it's going to fit pretty nice and snug. Like, you have our sub-ohm battery, right, fits in there pretty snug. You could drop a couple cartridges in there and then you seal it up and it's good to carry, it's pretty transportable, nothing crazy, cool little case to ship it out to you guys in. Now, we're going to jump right into showing you guys really what these vaporizers, how they function. So we have one of them already all set up here, which is our sub-ohm sport. What do we put in here? The mango goldline CBD?
Mango goldline CBD.
Tincture.
Yes, no THC in it. And this is what it looks like. So if you're familiar with our goldline brand, I don't know if you can see that. This is it. My favorite.
Very flavorful, what a lot of our people say is you could taste a lot of the mango taste. So now with this unit, you normally are running it at, I just turned it on. You're right now at 11 watts. So why don't we just bump it right up to 30 watts and show everybody how it really works. So here, let's just take a look over here. So see we're locked in at 30 watts.
30. All right. Here we go.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah. I call it milking it.
Milking it?
I just milked it. Because it gets so white.
That is honestly, it's really cool the way it fizzles up like you just opened up a fresh soda or something.
Definitely.
How's it taste on it? You're not even really pulling hard on that.
I literally touch it and look. I mean, if you could see. Look, I literally touch it.
I mean, I'm pretty impressed right now.
Look.
That looks pretty cool.
Just to give you an idea. Look at that. Neat, right?
How's the flavor? Give us a little. Whoa, that's pretty dense right there. You're gonna fog out the little little office here.
Sorry. This is cool. I mean, it really gets me every time. Every time I hit it, just like I build a relationship.
Do you feel the CBD? How's the taste? How's the flavor? I mean, now you're just showing off at this point.
I'm sorry, but this flavor is good. This is my favorite flavor, so this is what I spoke. So for me, it's normal, but
save a little room for the other unit now too.
Okay.
Because I mean, I think that everybody gets the point that this thing is a beast. I mean, honestly, you can see the smile on my face.
Bang,
I think this little the way that it fizzles and bubbles up. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. So this one I have it loaded up with. All right, we're taking this one away from you now. You can have it back after we're done. You're in timeout. Okay, so with this one, we got my favorite battery, HoneyStick Yellow Speed Edition, paired with the Highbrid. I have it set at 20 watts right here, just so you guys can see. 20 watts, which is pretty high for any dab atomizer. Okay. We have it paired with the Highbrid. What I have in there is I have the Goldline CBD Crumble 250, which you've had when you tried the plasma, right?
When we did the plasma.
Okay, so now HoneyGirl's going to demonstrate how to fill it. Now, filling it can be a little bit difficult because basically the water is supposed to go in, but it's not supposed to come out. So you got to fill it at an angle, and you really only want to fill it up about a third of the way, because there's holes in there that make sure that the water level is not topped off and you're not going to draw in any water. So what you're going to do is you're going to fill it up about a third of the way, make sure that it's in the right cavity, it doesn't go pouring down the center hole to flood out our nice little CBD crumbler tank.
Oops.
So basically, she's going to fill up the water, and you want to fill it up about a third of the way. You want to fill it at an angle so the water goes into the bubbler, but doesn't come out. If you fill it the wrong way, then it's going to come out through the center hole and flood your tank. So definitely make sure that it is detached from the tank. Wow, that was perfect on the first try. You've been practicing.
I did, but I messed up a few times.
And make sure that you don't have any water in there, because when you strap it onto the tank, it's going to go down, get into the electronics. So now is the time to dry your tank up and make sure that it's filled up to the right level. Kind of swirl it around, make sure you're not going to get any water drippage. You could put it upside down, then you got a good fill on it. Now, some bubblers have more water in them, but you really don't need much more water to filter out vapor already, as we said. And this makes it easy to clean, and again, carrying factor, size factor, I think plays into our advantage here. So then you're going to take that thing, once you made sure it's dry, you're not having any leakage, you are going to put it onto the vaporizer. So this is now using our sub-ohm wax dab tank, the Highbrid. Now these things aren't going to flare up as intense as the other vaporizer, because we were running that one at 30 watts. This one we're just going to start off at 20, and we could work our way up. But there's a nice little slab on there, and let's give it a try, see how it works. See what you think. Oh wow!
All right, I took a little one.
Wow, that was a pretty big cloud.
But I'll take another one.
And that's only at 20 watts. Hybrid tank can go up to 30, 35 watts. So because it's a brand new coil and a fresh slab, I don't, this is kind of like a break-in period for it. So after you've taken one more, you can crank up the wattage a little bit to like 25.
Oops. Perfect.
25, there you go. Wow, that heated up quick now. Whoa, for a dab.
I'm so like brave to hit it and take big hits.
Very adventurous. We're going back to that word,
I'm
adventurous.
one not to take big hits, but I think this might have changed my vape game.
Well, I think we've pretty much gone through what was filled in there, so we can go and give them some more information. So what we actually want to do is to get this bubbler out there, and because you guys really inspired us to bring out a bubbler for the Bumblebee, I want you guys, if you have already made your version of a HoneyStick Bubbler, paired your HoneyStick with a bubbler, we want to see it. Throw it up on Instagram, tag in official vape HoneyStick or vape HoneyStick, which is our 2 Instagram handles. So if you throw that up there and tag us, I'm going to make sure that our social media person gets in touch with you and hooks you up with either a gift card or gets you one of our new Bumblebee bubblers out to you for the cost of shipping and handling. You know, I think that's a pretty good deal to say thank you to our guys and, you know, really get the bubbler out there and see what you guys have custom created. You know, if there's any disadvantages or advantages that we missed, drop them down in the comments below about why you do or don't like vape bubblers and how it is with your vape experience. If you want to follow us at those Instagram handles, subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow HoneyGirl on Instagram, which one are you managing?
I'm doing official vape HoneyStick, so you guys could stay tuned to that and follow me. If you have any questions or if you want to send me your pictures, we'll make sure that they get it. Okay?
And make sure that you guys use our special promo code HONEY420 for watching our channel. That's our VIP code for 20% off your purchases. You know, stay tuned. And also, I'm sure if you follow her Instagram, she is already in the showing off phase now with this new bubbler and these devices. That she's gonna get some massive clouds and also really get crazy with these. I could tell that she's just waiting for us to get out of here so she could go play with these some more. So. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Till next time, vape responsibly.
Bye.
Bye.